Sorry, I'm getting excited. I'm really getting into the subject because this is obviously something I think about a fair bit and get very passionate about. But yes, this model of impact that you were describing, wherein I act upon you, I act towards you, the way that I treat you, whether kind or cruel, will be with you your entire life, and likewise. This conversation, however indirect, however abstract, however convoluted the mechanisms and mediums wherein we carry it, through which we carry it, will be with me my entire life. But it does not end with the individual on whom we are acting. The, the impact of my actions upon you, your actions upon me, will have some bearing on your actions upon others, my actions upon others. This this line of or webwork of influence is so subtle, so constant, um, so many branches, so many variables, so many minutiae, and so many vectors, that it's less. Well, it is less akin to, say, my pointing at you, or well, let's use a very silly example. It is less my taking a hose and spraying you with water and getting you soaking wet with whatever sort of influence I'm exerting, and more my spraying in your general direction, or spraying with such high pressure that it's whatever I direct at you will diffuse, um, and impact those surrounding you as well. But it does not. It never really stops. Like you said, it never really stops. So when I am acting upon you, and I have no control, no knowledge, not even the knowledge necessary to state that I'm making a controlled or an informed or a discrete decision with a beginning and end in its ramifications. When I am acting upon you, I am acting ultimately upon the whole of humanity. This webwork, this spray, or this great melding of influence, completely precludes my foreseeing the ends of the ramifications of my actions. I am lending influence to a system of influence that, well, as I am acting upon you, so too am I, in some degree, acting upon every human contact you will ever have hence, however trivial. However trivial. How you attend to a grocery store clerk, how you attend to those persons who come to you for advice, how you treat friends, how you treat enemies, even to some degree how you conceive of those categories of friends and enemies. And we do this constantly, we do this perpetually, every time we interact with a human being. So, being kind is of staggering importance. Is of staggering importance. It seems trivial and almost pedestrian to say that we cannot see the ends of our actions, but to consider the degree of influence and this diffusion of influence. I mean, yes, I can have a discrete impact on the totality of your experience for the rest of your experience. But so too do I have an influence on how your experience impacts the experience of others. And that's where I think empathy, in the sense where it is conventionally used, wherein I say that I am considering the impact of my actions upon you, is a fine starting point. And I think that generally our conception and our conceptualization of empathy is more limited than the reality, or than perhaps it entirely should be. Because of course I'm not acting exclusively on you. But perhaps we would do well to, in considering the sort of influence that we are exerting, to consider our actions on a very individual level as expressions of ideology. What sort of world would I like the human being to occupy? Conceptual, physical, emotional, cognitive, what have you. Maybe even spiritual, if that's the direction of interpretation that people choose to take this. What sort of world? And every time I interact with another human being, I have the opportunity to express that in a way that has influence. I think one of the reasons we don't generally think about this, in at least in these terms, is that these terms imply staggering responsibilities. And while I don't think many would contend that those responsibilities do exist, I don't think many, and I'll include myself in this, are entirely comfortable thinking in those terms on a day-to-day basis. I mean, the sheer weight of importance could almost be crushing, could almost be overwhelming. But then again, bringing this all kind of back around, the moment I'm talking about importance, I'm talking about nothing more and nothing less than human experience.